Do you want to know one of the best strategies you need to do in 2020 as an agency owner, just so you can dominate the first half and maybe even the entire decade? Well, in this episode, I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. Now, if you're new to this show is all about going over strategies to help you create that freedom in your agency to do what you love and to get rid of the stuff that you hate doing. If you're not yet subscribed, subscribe, hit that little bell button so you never miss out on a new episode. All right, so I've been gone a little bit from doing the Swenk Todays, and it's because we were out in Durango having our digital agency experience. We were flying to New York for a keynote. We flew back to New York to meet with a client. We've just been really busy. And I just wanted to create and I always tell everybody, don't force creating content. The content will come and then you start creating. And one of the exciting things I wanted to tell you about that's happening for us in 2020 is we're actually going to go to 2 shows a week for the Smart Agency Masterclass. You know, we started finding amazing guests and having them on our podcast. And literally, we have shows lined up to 21. Literally, 2021, in the middle of 2021. And I went to the team, I said, look, it's not, we have all this amazing content. It's not going to get old because, as you know, with the Smart Agency Masterclass, we're not going over the silver bullets, right? We're not going over hacks. We're going over things that are foundational, that will help you and will always, well, for the most part, always work. So time is not really an issue. But I wanted to provide more value to you. So we're going to go to 2 shows a week with the Smart Agency Masterclass. Now you're probably thinking, well, what about this show? This show's not going anywhere, but we may not be as consistent with it. So I just wanted to let you know that. Now let's get into the strategy that I feel all agency owners need to be doing. Now, when I was doing the keynote in New York City, I was speaking to about 1,000 agency owners. And I asked them, I said, how many of you have a podcast? And out of the 1,000, there was maybe 5 people that raised their hand. 5. I was blown away. I said, look at everybody, look around, and look at the opportunity that you have. Now, I truly believe that in order to grow your agency and to scale it where you want it to go, you need to have 3 main channels. You need to have an inbound channel, an outbound channel, and a strategic partnership channel. And there's one thing that you can do to encompass all 3, and that's having a podcast. If you've been putting it on hold, 2020 needs to be the year that you do the podcast. Look, let me tell you the strategy. You can come up with the list of clients that you want to work with in 2020. Once you have that list, I want you to call them and say, I have a podcast and I would love for you to be a guest. On this show, we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z, and I want to share your story. They're going to say, absolutely, let's come on. You create that show and the whole intent is not to sell them. The whole intent is to create amazing content first. Now, as you're doing the podcast and you're chatting with your perfect client or prospect, they may say at the end after you wrap up, hey, I think I could use your help. Oh, okay, well, cool, let's talk about it, or let's set up a time to chat. So it's going to be an amazing outbound channel for you, but you're also going to create amazing content for inbound. And then you can even do this with your strategic partners. You know, one of our mastermind members dominates, literally a multi-million-dollar agency. He's so specialized and he really understands the grasp of strategic partnerships, not referral partners, but his whole outbound channel is going after partners. And I've been telling him, get a podcast, and you can make it even better. And so what I want to tell you is you need to do a podcast in 2020. 2020 if you're not doing it already. Google and all the major search engines are going to start, or I think they've already started doing this. All you SEO experts, comment below. But they're already starting to pull out audio out of audio files for search engines. And when we were doing the keynote in New York, tons of people were coming up to us saying, you know, hey, we love your content and all this. And when I realized the people that were watching the videos, because like to watch a video like what you're doing right now, you're putting 7 minutes of your time only dedicated to this. And you can't watch this video or this episode in your car, right? And so a lot of us have all this effort to create these videos. That's why I'm not going to do so many of them anymore. But think about all the people that came up to us saying, hey, we listened to your show going to work. We listened to your show on the way to, you know, driving my kids or waiting in line. You can listen and digest a podcast when you're doing other things. You don't have to be totally focused. And so it saves you time. That's one of the most important things. You got to think about when people listen to a podcast, you're saving them time. Okay? I want that to sink in. And I really hope in 2020 you create a podcast and then you write us and say, Jason, I did a podcast, I was consistent at it, I was really focused at it, and a year later, it changed everything for me. That's what I want for you. So comment below on if you've already started a podcast, or what's the name of your podcast, or what's holding you back. I want to help you with this because I think this could be a game changer for you. So comment, if you're not yet subscribed, hit that little bell button so when we do these episodes, you're fully made aware of when we actually do them. And until next time, have a Swenk day.